So my name is Amy Legister. I am the founder and CEO of 3D Lash and Brow Salon and Academy. We are the #1 beauty school in Dallas, Texas.
Wow.
We started in 2018 with only 3 students, and now we currently have over 200 students. So it's just grown, and many of the students that come to my school are single mothers or working mothers just trying to create the opportunity to provide for their families.
Right.
And, I was in that same situation myself not too long ago of being a single mother, just trying to go back to school and start my own business. So that's the reason why I started the school, was to create that opportunity for women that's an affordable, flexible program.
Right. Are you from the Dallas area?
I am. I lived mostly in Kansas, Wichita, Kansas, pretty small town. And I actually was a dental hygienist before joining the beauty industry.
Okay.
So I did dental hygiene in Kansas for about 6 years. And then, but I always knew being a boss was something that I wanted to do.
So from the very beginning, you always knew you wanted to do something like this?
I did. I just didn't know what avenue that would be.
Right.
But I did love dental hygiene, and it did teach me a lot about customer service, interacting with people, because I used to be a very shy person. So I'm very grateful for my dental career. And but I learned about lashes and makeup, and then that was it. So
how'd you end up in Dallas then?
I actually have sisters that live here. So when I was in dental hygiene school, I came to visit, and I just fell in love with the city. There's just so much growth here, so much opportunity. People are much nicer. The customer service is better. The food's better. Everything's just better.
All right. So do you consider yourself a Texan now? Are you?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So you're in Dallas. What are you doing when you first get to Dallas then?
When I first came here, I literally packed up a U-Haul with my three-year-old daughter at the time and drove 6 hours. I had an interview that same day for a dental office, and had my uniform or my interview outfit ready, and just drove down here and got a dental hygiene job, and that was it. So,
how long were you doing that job for?
I was at my dental office for about four years, and then I started temping at a couple offices for about a year, and then I ended up getting my lash extension license, and that was kind of it.
So what's that like to get the lash extension license?
So luckily, Texas is the only state that offers a license in just eyelash extensions. Most states you have to go through full aesthetic school to learn skin, hair, or nails, and some people are not interested in that. So Texas has a license that is a 320-hour specialty lash license, and you go to the school, you enroll, you complete your 320 hours. It's consisting of practical, like hands-on work, as well as theory lecture, and then you take your written state board exams and your practical boards, and then you become licensed.
So what's the written test like, I guess?
The written test, it's, the state board is more concerned about sanitation and infection control, making sure that you are not cross-contaminating, things like that, as well as technique and skill, that you're not, putting your client in harm. So that's what the written state board is more about, laws and rules.
Right. And then the practical part, you actually physically have to do this in front of someone.
Yeah. And it's on a mannequin. You only have to do about 6 lashes. But what they want to see is that you know how to do something in the event of an emergency, like if the client gets cut. So you have to do a blood exposure incident. So that's a big portion. And just making sure that you're keeping everything sanitary during the application of the eyelash extension. So that's what they're looking for.
Okay. So you're a dental hygienist. You get your license. What's the next step for you after that?
Well, I opened a school, so that's been my current step, is seeing the school grow. Again, we started in 2018, almost 3 years ago. We've grown so much since then. We started in like a 1,500 square foot facility, and now it's expanded to about 7,000 square feet. So I just really want to make sure that we're always staying current with what we're teaching our students, innovating, and just that we just have a really good program for people to come, and that they're ready for the working world. I don't want it to be where students graduate and they still have to take training, so they don't feel ready to be an entrepreneur or jump into a salon.
Right. So I know our viewers might be curious. So while you're a dental hygienist, obviously this is in the back of your mind the whole time. How did you actually go about starting the company? Where'd you raise the money? Did you get loans? Did you borrow money from folks? Like how did that happen?
Well, I just kind of jumped into it. I went through the steps you need to apply for your school license and things like that. And everything, I just hustled. So every time I made money, I put it right back into the business.
Okay.
And I think that's what a lot of people have to realize too about being an entrepreneur is that a lot of your money goes back into equipment or hiring or things like that. So the first couple of years, it's not always just profit. I believe in Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you've heard of him and his, no debt. So my business is 100% debt free.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I just believe in hustling and paying for things as you go.
Okay.
Which is why we started off small and then slowly, grew.
So you opened the school. What was that first year like? How did you get clients? What kind of advertising did you do?
The first year, again, we started with 3 students. I don't know. Some of them knew who I was already as a lash artist and a brow artist, so they kind of trusted me and said, "Hey, I'll go to your school."
Right.
And when they came to my school, I didn't have any paint on the walls, barely any equipment, but they stuck with me and graduated. It was just a learning process, I knew how to be a lash artist, but I didn't necessarily know how to be a school owner.
Right.
And it's totally different. Totally different. So just learning how to manage, your team and be a good leader.
How'd you get your next set of clients then?
So clients I already had, when I was a dental hygienist, I worked, daytime from 9 to 5. And then at night I would work, like 6 to 9 to do my lash clients or on the weekends. And so I built a really good clientele up. And so I didn't have to really get any more clients once I started the school.
Were they coming to your home or were you working somewhere else?
I actually had a little studio upstairs first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then moved downstairs for a bigger location. But my school got busy enough to the point where I couldn't see clients anymore. I just had to focus on the school. So as far as getting students to come to the school, just marketing, Instagram, social media.
Right.
And then having the students produce good quality work, lashes, people want to say, how did the students work? So, and a lot of my clients, since once I stopped servicing them, they came to see the students.
Right. So the first year was pretty smooth for you then?
Absolutely
people were coming
not.
in. Oh, absolutely. So tell us about that.
The first year, again, like I said, I didn't know how to be a school owner at the time. I just thought, everybody wants to come to school to learn lashes and it's going to be great. But I realized that not everybody has the same ambitions.
Okay.
Some people might enroll in school just for something to do. They may not really have that passion to be that artist that they signed up for. So just seeing people for where they're at and trying to help them through that process was a learning curve for me.
Okay.
And also, again, you can't do everything by yourself. So when I first started the school, I was financial aid, I was enrollment, I was the janitor, laundry,
right.
All those hats that you have to learn how to delegate and hire for, because certain aspects of your business are going to suffer if you're trying to be a one-woman show.
Right.
I wish I had learned that earlier on, and that's one of the messages that I always speak to is, learn to ask for help and to delegate.
So when did it kind of turn around and get smoother for you? When did you start hiring, start turning a profit and getting more comfortable with everything?
Well, year 2, everything started to get so much better. I had more instructors to help me with the student growth. I had a front desk who was amazing. And then COVID hit. So that was year 2.
Right.
It was like right when we were finally getting our stride and I was finally learning how to.
It's always something, right?
Yeah, something. And so that completely shifted everything. So I almost feel like we're back at square one with how to deal with COVID-19. We had to go completely online, which I'm glad we were able to do, but there's only so much a student can learn online. So, however, it's working. We're navigating it. We're the #1 online school for beauty. So I plan to keep it that way and just keep learning and figuring out how to innovate and give my students the best experience. But yeah, COVID-19 really just rocked it.
So you were shut down for a while?
We were shut down for about 3 months.
Okay.
And then once we opened back up, again, dealing with COVID, like people having to quarantine, we couldn't really see clients anymore the way we were. sometimes we would have no program because everybody was out with COVID or exposed to it, so they had to. So it was a hot mess, and then yeah, it was, and then on top of that, the race riots came.
Right.
So right when we opened back up, we had to shut back down because the buildings had to be boarded up because people were coming through and
wow.
destroying things. So curfews, and trying to have school at the same time.
Right.
It was so much fun.
What did you think of going online? Like how did you think of that?
At first I was just like, at least we could at least do the theory and do practicals. And then it became something that was a norm. Like, I mean, I saw that the students were still producing really good work. They were still being able to lash their mannequins, and people are able to graduate completely 100% online. I'm one of the only schools that's offering that. So just, again, we invested in the school, again, talking about profit, and, just when we thought we were about to start profiting, and we had to invest thousands of dollars into camera equipment so that the students could see and hear better. So and learning all this technology and different platforms to really have a good delivery system. That's where we're at. It's just online. So.
Okay. And so take us through the process. So if I'm a student and I call and enroll, what is the process when they come here?
So if the student calls here, one of the enrollment coordinators will answer, and usually the first question they ask is, can I do everything 100% online?
Okay.
And yes, a lot of the people are moms, or they're having to do virtual trainings for their families, or they are scared to come out their house. So yes, we offer 100% online. They'll ask questions about the program, the schedules, and we'll go over that information. We do not offer financial aid, but we do offer payment plans, as well as PayPal financing, so they can apply for that. And it's usually 6 months, 0% interest. So that's really helped a lot of people to be able to afford school. And then once we've answered their questions about the format of the online training, then they will register themselves online. It's a very simple process. They fill out their forms, registration, upload their ID, and then within 24 to 48 hours, our enrollment coordinator will contact them and go over their virtual orientation so that they're familiar with how to navigate the online system, how to upload their hands-on assignments, and all of that.
Is it still only online right now?
We do have on-campus learning as well.
Okay.
Yes, we do. So for students who come on campus, we're a very flexible school, so they get to create their own schedule.
Okay.
They just have to keep up with the curriculum. So once they've enrolled, we have an orientation for them. They come on campus, and then they start their learning.
What are the disciplines that they can take here, I guess?
So we offer every program. We offer the cosmetology program where they can learn hair, skin, and nails. And my school is a little bit different than most cosmetology schools. Most cosmetology programs only teach you hair and a little bit of skin, a little bit nails as the requirements are. But our program is way more advanced. So they go through full curriculum for manicuring, for aesthetics, for, lashes. So that's why a lot of people come to my school, because it's 3D lash and brow. So they want to learn lashes. So we make sure we incorporate that. And then we have our manicurist program, which is one of the number one popular programs, and it's growing rapidly, is nails. Everybody's loving nails. It's just taking on a whole new life with the designs and everything. So I'm very glad that we're offering that program. It's a newer program.
Okay.
And then, of course, we have our lash program and our aesthetics program. Those are still the two most popular ones. But our cosmetology and our manicure program is growing.
Okay. So if I come in and I want to learn how to do nails, do you literally sit me down in a classroom, and I guess the instructor goes through every step, and
Absolutely.
you physically do hands-on stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely. If you are an on-campus student or a hybrid student, yes, you'll have your lecture, and then she'll do the demo, and then you'll open up your kit and you'll do the hands-on. And then after about 6 weeks of practicing and going through the curriculum, you'll have what is called a friends and family day. Then this is an opportunity for you to feel comfortable enough to start seeing, live clients. But your first client is going to be a friend or a family member, and you're going to go through everything, and then you'll be opened up to start being scheduled clients so that you have that real life experience, so that way you can be ready to start your career once you graduate.
Sure. So after that, Is there any other services like helping them prep for a test, or
Yes.
how's that work? Yeah.
So they do have state board preparation. It's mandatory that they do at least 2 times, so that way they can be well prepared for when they take their state board exams. So they do written state board prep as well as practical state board prep.
Okay. And how are your students doing with the tests so far?
We're at 100% state board passing rate.
Really?
So we plan to keep it that way.
Is that normal for?
It's normal for us.
Okay. All right. That's good.
So,
Awesome. And so you have the school. It's back up and running. We're sort of coming out of COVID. Where do you see the school going 5 years from now? Or where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, like I said earlier, I have a heart for mentoring entrepreneurs, especially women, business women. And I see the school definitely growing. I'm not necessarily sure we need to have other campuses because with the growth of the online platform,
Right.
I think that I just really want to make sure that we just have it locked and loaded and ready to go so that anybody can enroll even online and still have the best experience and be prepared as best as they can to enter their beauty career.
Are the clients mostly from Texas, or do you offer it outside of Texas?
Yes, so we have students enrolled from Texas, but we also have students enrolled in other states as well that maybe will come to Texas and get their license and then maybe transfer it to their state, because a lot of states are still shut down. Their cosmetology schools are shut
Right.
down and they don't offer online training.
So the testing and license is different in other states, or is it pretty
Some
much?
states have reciprocity, meaning that they can, transfer it, or they might have to retake the test once they pass here and take it in their state as well. And then some states, they don't have to do hardly anything but a piece of paper. So each state just varies. And we let the students know when they enroll that they have to know what their state's requirements,
Okay.
no matter what, they're getting a Texas license when they complete their program here.
Okay. What's your advertising like for right now? Or is it still word of mouth? Or
It's word of mouth. It's social media. Again, Instagram and Facebook has been our main platform. And God,
Okay.
God has really just blessed the school and grown it.
Any thoughts on any paid advertising in the future, or how big do you want to grow this?
How big do I want to grow this? Honestly, I never anticipated having 300 or more students enrolled at a time.
Right now? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily so much concerned about the growth. I'm more concerned about the quality.
Okay.
So even if we stay at the same level of 300 students, I just want every student to, obviously you can't please everybody,
Right.
but I want every student to feel like when they enrolled and they came out of 3D, they came out better than when they came in.
Right.
So that's my main focus right now.
Sure. So a lot of people, entrepreneurs are getting famous and big nowadays. Can you tell us what's the average day like for you when you come in to work?
The average day, I usually wake up about 4 a.m. and
Wow. Okay.
I'm actually up earlier than that, but I usually get out of bed for sure at 4 a.m.,
Okay.
try to get to the gym, try to, pray, meditate. And then when I get back, I try to focus on some office things, clear up my emails and stuff, get as much as I can done in that 2-hour time frame. And then my baby girl wakes up, and so
Okay.
I get her ready for breakfast and be the mom's life. And then me and my husband, we head to 3D, and we have a staff huddle every morning to
Okay.
kind of go over any issues or concerns for direction for the day. And then I still teach. So I still teach classes. Permanent makeup is one of my passions. I still teach lash extensions. So if I'm not teaching, I'm mentoring.
Okay.
So that's what a day like is, and then.
When you say you're mentoring, are you mentoring your employees, or are there like students who've already gone through the courses that you're talking to?
Both. So I have a mentoring program, and so I have people that I help mentor with their businesses, and that's one of my passions too. So
Okay. Anybody who graduated here start their own company or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. And that's what we want. I really want to produce more female founders and entrepreneurs. So, yeah, many of them are doing great. Like, a lot of them are in the same building.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them, like a lot of them are in the building. So they have their own beauty businesses. They're booked full time, seeing clients or trying to get to that point. So it's really exciting to see them do so well.
Okay.
Well, actually, one of my students does my lashes now. So
And anybody specifically you want to talk about, or
my students,
yeah, somebody want to promote or
Flirty Brows.
Okay.
Nikki, she is. She was actually. I'm almost going to tear up. She was actually one of my first students to graduate. Sorry, and she trained with me for the microblading. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so emotional. She joined my school when I didn't have anything and stayed and came through the ups and downs of me navigating and being a school owner. And now she's starting her own company and she's doing really well. So
where's her business right now?
Upstairs.
Okay.
Actually, I think she's looking into getting to a storefront. So
Okay, and she's seeing clients and
she's seeing clients. She's marketing. She's posting. So she's just really gleaned a lot from 3D, and I think she's even doing some trainings now. So she was my first aesthetic student to graduate, and that was 3 years ago.
So obviously it's extremely important to you. Tell us why you're getting emotional about when talking about it, I guess.
Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Can we cut this out?
Sure.
Woof. Entrepreneurship is very hard. And I think too, you don't realize it. Instagram makes it look like it's just
Right.
all money and fun and fame, but it's a lot of hard work. And especially as a school owner, like I said, you can't please everybody. So some people are not the most positive, and even when you're trying to help them to be successful, they may not take that. And so when you do have a student that does take your learnings and teachings and try and does something with it, it's really nice to see. So but yeah, I didn't mean to get emotional like that.
Oh no, we're purely organic here, so that's awesome. Did you have any hurdles with friends or family when you first started? I know a lot of entrepreneurs, some of their biggest detractors are the people that love them the most because they're afraid that they're taking a big risk, right? So
yes, definitely. I think when I said, hey, I'm opening a school, it was kind of like, whoa, that's kind of a big deal. So I think some people, plus I had just had a baby. My baby was 6 months old when I started 3D Lash and Brow.
Oh, wow.
And I had some health issues. So it was a little concern to start a school. But my biggest supporter is my husband. So I'm very grateful that he's been encouraging me throughout the entire journey to keep going. And friends, you will learn who your true friends are when you become an entrepreneur,
Right.
Because you'll see who supports you, who comes to your events, who comes to your grand openings, different things like that, or who says congratulations,
Right.
But you have to, once you get to a certain level, you have to not take take offense to it, because sometimes you're a reminder of what they're not doing.
Right.
It's not so much that they're jealous or are hating or anything. You're just a reminder that they could do so much more. Because there's nothing more special about me than anybody else. Everybody can do what I'm doing. It's just, are you going to take that action
Right.
to make it happen?
Where'd you get that fortitude to start a business when you just had a baby and you had health issues? Like, how did you keep that going?
I think part of the reasons were the health issues is because, if I can't physically do lash extensions, I still wanted to be in the beauty industry. And I really love teaching. So I said, let me have a school, where people, and I knew for me when I went to school, because I was a dental hygienist during the day and then trying to do it at night and having a daughter, I needed something that was flexible and affordable. So I wanted to give that same opportunity to other women, where you could create your own schedule, because not everybody can do 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Right.
So that's why I have incorporated that into my programs.
Right. What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about someone that owns a business or is an entrepreneur?
I think just from social media that they make it look easy, that it may be just given to them. They don't see the behind the scenes, the early mornings, the late nights, the tears, sleepless nights.
Right.
They don't see all that. So I think that's the biggest misconception. And I think that also people don't realize that just because you start a business doesn't mean it's going to succeed. And that once you get to that level, that you can just chill out. Like, once you get to that level, you have to keep going. You can't just be like, oh, I've got 300 students, let me just relax and enjoy. You still have to hustle. You still have to level up.
Right. It's never going to end until
Never.
Right.
That's what I'm learning. It's never ending.
But you seem like you really enjoy it, though.
I do.
Okay. If someone is thinking about starting their own company, becoming an entrepreneur, what do you tell them? What kind of advice do you give?
I say, are you sure? Is this what you really want to do? Okay. Definitely think, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. So they have to be crystal clear with what they want to do. But I will refer back to the Proverbs 31 woman. I'm a very faith-based, and she is the ultimate entrepreneur. And she really just gives the blueprint on how to be an entrepreneur with real estate, with having your own business, profiting. So I definitely respond, give them information about that. But I will say that what you put in is what you're going to get out. So
any examples of things that you thought that might work out but didn't? Some of the missteps maybe, but how you overcame them?
I think for me, the hardest thing has been managing, being a leader, just learning my leadership style.
Okay.
I'm a very blunt, it's kind of straightforward person, so not everybody can handle that. So you have to kind of learn who your team members are and try to adapt to them as well. There's a book called Relentless by Tim Grover. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but he talks about that there are 3 different types of people. There's a cleaner, there is a cooler, and then there's a cleaner, cooler, and closer.
Okay.
The cleaner is a person who just gets the job done. They're like Michael Jordan. They, even if they're doing it by themselves, they're going to make it happen. Okay. And it's not so much that it's their own expectation, their own level. They're always going to keep demanding more of themselves. The cooler is a person who is the great team player, who will, help and be there to support, but they're not the person who's going to necessarily be that stress situation to make that last shot, And then you have the closer. They can do it during clutch time, but it's not their main thing. But when push comes to shove, they will be your clutch person.
Okay.
But the cleaner is not the clutch person. They're always going to be doing it. So just knowing who your team is and responding accordingly to that.
Wow. Well, it feels like from here that you've put a lot of passion into this. Obviously, this is incredibly important to you. Any final thoughts on someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, about your business? What'd you like to say, I guess?
I would say if you want to be an entrepreneur, I would say that God gives you a vision. There's a difference between a vision and a dream. So, a vision is going to stay with you. It's going to kind of haunt you. And if you have something that is repeatedly in your mind, a certain business, a certain book that you're supposed to write, a certain vision or dream, you have to do it. You just have to, and life is so short that you have to do it now. Like, there's never going to be a perfect time to start your business. There's never going to be a perfect time to write that book. You just have to do it. Right. So, and just know that if you build it, they will come, and you have to put in a lot of work.
That's awesome. Well, Amy, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
3dlashandbrow.com.
Yes.
You can follow me on Instagram at 3D Lash and Brow. That's Lash AND Brow.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
This was inspirational for
Oh.
us. I'm thrilled that you told us all this. We would love to see you maybe in a year or so.
Oh, yeah.
See where you are and how far along you came or
Yeah.
you've gone. So, thank you again.
Okay. And also, I do have a mentoring program
Okay.
that I'm about to re-announce and let people join my membership. So
Absolutely.
you can follow me on Instagram to get more information about that as well.